The Arab Spring has been amazing in showing people that the people in the Arab world want the same freedoms that we do. They're giving their lives for it. And this idea, this talking point, they hate us for our freedoms. Well, I hope this is undermining that argument forever. I'm actually not kidding when I say let's take a page from the NBA owners and lock Congress out until they start getting something done for the American people. Honestly, this is like the movie Groundhog Day, but it's not funny. There's no Bill Murray in it. It's the same thing over and over. But there's a reason Congress has 9% approval rating. I mean, right now, there are STDs more popular than our United States Congress.
Do we need a Jesus candidate?
I'm not sure if we need a Jesus candidate. We don't need Rick Santorum, I can tell you that. He's not extreme. There are people in the Taliban who would call him radical. This man, and I'm not being hyperbolic, wants to bring Christian Sharia law to the United States of America. And by that, and I'm quoting him, because no one paid attention up until a week ago, he said he thinks our laws and the Bible should comport with each other, which means they should be in agreement. That our laws and the Bible and God's law have to agree. And he said if they don't, there'll be agitation, which is some code word for something worse than acid reflux, I guess.
Harry Smith introduces us to an effort to use humor to deal with a topic that has often been no laughing matter.
Dean Obeidallah, everybody.
A lot of Americans hate you.
I'm not sure how many actually hate me, but I know what you're getting at. The only way I know to counter it is by reaching out to people and trying to dispel the misconceptions, the lack of facts they have about American Muslims, about the religion itself. Maybe I'm delusional, but I love the fact that we're trying. This is our calling to go out there and do this, and I think we're making a difference. So a recent Rasmussen poll, #1 issue, 80% of the voters said was the economy and jobs. Foreign policy and social issues much further down. That's the issue people want to hear about. They don't have an answer. Unemployment's gone down. It peaked October 2009 at 10.1%. It's down now in December to 8.5%. And these Republicans don't have answers, so they want to talk about the social issues, the heart issues, the ones that make you go out and vote, make you make phone calls, get people to come out to the polls. They scare you. It works before. It worked many times before. They're just trying to use the same play from the old Republican playbook.
Already? So was it a pylon at that point?
It was great. Seth was great. He did kill him. And I don't understand. Trump's got such thin skin, but his face looks like leather. You'd think he'd be much tougher about things.
I know, it's true.
Trump should have taken the high road. He didn't laugh at all. He should have laughed. He should have tipped his hair to him, take his hair off like this, and enjoyed the moment of just having a good time.
Tonight on Nightline, X-ray vision as anger over TSA pat-downs reaches a boiling point.
So how to balance security and privacy?
You got to man up.
Comedian Dean Obeidallah wrote an article on the subject called "The TSA Wants to See Your TND."
You know, because you have the option. It's either going to go be seen naked or be touched by, it sounds like a drunken frat boy on prom night. I mean, everyone's so afraid they're going to grope you. You have professionally trained people who have to touch you appropriately.
You've actually started a Twitter group called Comedians for Palin. That sounds so horribly partisan. I mean, there are plenty of politicians to go around, isn't there?
There are, but this has to do with presidential politics. There has been political comedy, but for the last 2.5 years, I think we've been in a political comedy recession when it deals with presidential politics. And not that Obama doesn't give us some material here and there, but there's not a specific take on him. Remember President Bush? He couldn't speak English well. Obviously, President Clinton had the sescapades. And what's funnier, a joke about Obamacare or a joke about how President Bush used to say, instead of Al-Qaeda, Al-Qaeda, and it went from a Middle East terrorist group to a Mexican restaurant. So, you know, we're hoping Sarah Palin can give us that.
Oh,
and she'll create jobs. Because all those people who lost their jobs from the Bush comedy industry, you know, like the Bushism books and the Bush dog toy and toilet paper, they're going to be back in business better than ever with the President Palin in the office.
About what it does to Italy's reputation. Here you have a major industrialized power, a member of NATO, a very important leader.
Right.
You know, a guy is the head of the government, so...
Italy elected a porn star at one time into the parliament 20 years ago. This is nothing. I mean, I call him Silvio the Situation. He should be on the Jersey Shore. He could be in a hot tub with Snooki hanging out. When I watch the Jersey Shore, it looks like a Berlusconi cabinet meeting, to be quite honest. And some people call it shocking what he does. He calls it Thursday. You know, it's nothing. He's just living a life of this playboy, 74-year-old rich billionaire who happens to be the leader of a country.
I know a lot of your comedy is based in calling out American Islamophobia. So what do you think a population jump of this size could mean for the Muslim community, for Muslim American experience in this country, I should say?
Well, first of all, I must say I only have a few minutes because I have to go out and help double the population. I'm going to be busy apparently the next few years, as well all Muslims. It's going to be a lot of work, but we're going to do it. I think anti-Muslim sentiment in America today is worse than it's ever been. It's worse than right after 9/11. That transitory anger is past. It's accepted. It's mainstream. People use it to sell books, to go on TV, to run for office for it. You know, we live in a world now where a recent poll showed 47% of Americans don't think Muslims share the same values as they do, meaning we don't value life the same way, we don't embrace democracy they do. This is about Muslim Americans. It's a very trying time. And as a comedian, I look at the bright side, I go, well, it could be worse. They could give hurricanes Muslim names. Hurricane Mahmoud is coming.
Dean, listen, before I show you this clip,
yes.
I thought that was funny.
No, I agree it's funny. And in a comedy club, it's completely fine. There's nothing at all wrong with it. But here's the truth. He was not cut off for making those jokes. If you watch a tape, he was cut off 10 minutes later when he started making fun of Republicans. That was the problem. He started talking about Romney, he started Pawlenty, and when he mentioned Michelle Bachmann, they cut him off and shut his microphone off. This is the party that says we don't want regulations, I guess, except when you're making fun of us, we're going to censor you. Give tips to Middle Eastern people, because I travel all the time as a comic, and they get stopped at the airport, and I give tips to Middle Eastern people. Look, if you're a Middle Eastern, even if you're Indian at this point, let's be honest, don't wear anything with Middle Eastern writing. Remember this expression, dress white, make your flight. Dress white, make your flight.
Dress white, make your flight.
And if you don't know what that means, 2 words, Banana Republic, my friends. Khaki pants, polo shirt with a little animal like an alligator or a tiger. No camel, no camel.